Okay, hey everybody. It is Sunday, so that means it's time for another episode of Girl on Fire. And guess who I have back with me? Serena J. Bishop.
Hello, people
Hello.
lover.
Hello. Thanks for coming back.
Oh,
Not just because
absolutely.
you have a book out, because you were fun the last time. So I swear you can come on anytime you want to.
Thank you. I promise I'll try to continue to be playful and fun, possibly torture myself in various ways for your and others' entertainment.
And I think every time you come on now, and I'm telling everybody, all the authors that want to come on, I'm telling them, I said, you have to do a hot sauce. You have to. No, you have to do a hot sauce. Even if it's a wimpy version of the one I have, you have to do a hot sauce. And they're like, well, okay. It's like, okay. I was like, we'll find something that won't kill you. So, so yeah. So I'm trying to, I still have so many left and people still send me some. So it's just like, I have to go through them. So if I can get somebody else to get the same sauces, that would be great. So that
Which
way
I did.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. So yes, as a matter of fact, everybody, this is our sauce du jour. As you see, I have the bigger bottle, for, she has the wimpy little, it looks like it would have a little squeeze voice, but I have the big bottle right here. So it's called Pain 100%. And it's by that company that I love that's called, where's the name of them?
Mine is under the barcode.
Pain is Good. I think it's by that group, right?
Yeah, I just found the bottling information.
Yeah, I think it's by the same group, Pain is Good. And
I can tell you that their motto is taste the pain.
Yes.
And they also want us to refrigerate after opening.
Yes. And on the back, it actually says there are several levels of pain. Whoa. The pain levels are marked with the percentage of pain you experience. The higher the pain, the percentage, the more pain and less flavor. Although there are chili heads that will argue that the more the pain, the more the pain, the better the flavor. We will let you decide. So I was curious because I thought this was going to have extracts in it, but it doesn't look like it does. So I didn't see anything about it. So I'm curious about it. And it's just having habaneros, so they're hot, but they're not ghost pepper or reaper hot. I mean, they're spicy, but anyway. Okay, so this is what we're trying today, everybody. She has her plastic spoon. I have my shot glass. And we are going to start off while show them all the condiments you got to put your fire out first.
And I'm shaking it up. All those flavors could have settled to the bottom.
Yes,
I have my water in my Wonder Woman cup glass. I have my oat milk in the Dreams mug. And in case things get real dicey, I have my ranch dressing in a shot glass. That is hilarious. It's just going down, tongue's going in.
That is hilarious. And I actually, when I want a spicy salad dressing, I'll mix like a nice thick hot sauce with the ranch dressing sometimes. It turns out pretty good.
I can maybe let you know how that pairs together if I can speak.
Okay.
I am not a chili head. I'll have some jalapenos occasionally.
Oh, I love jalapenos, especially if they're still crunchy.
Yes.
Oh, my bottle's leaking. Oh, no, that's not. Oh, this is a nice thick sauce, everybody. It has tomato in it.
It's chunky.
Yes, it's a tomato puree. It has herbs, water, salt, tomato paste, and spices.
Is this an adequate amount?
That may be too much for you.
Well, getting it back in is going to be pretty challenging. I'm going to smell it. Can I smell it and describe the smell?
Whew. You can smell the heat.
This smells like a bad decision for me.
Yes, you can smell the heat. It's definitely hot. You can smell that.
It smells also like vinegar and
it's a little bit of vinegar in it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's go for it. Let's go.
Okay. Cheers. Oh fuck.
Woo. That is spicy.
I don't know what's happening in my mouth. Christ.
That is spicy, but it's really good.
Okay. I do have flavor.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm giggling.
Okay, everybody. That is really hot, but it's very, very tasty. I think it's
tingling.
It's the salt and the garlic, I think, that gives it, extra. I don't know what other kind of spices it has in it, but it's a very, very tasty sauce. In fact, I would give it maybe a 9 on heat and maybe a 9 for flavor too, because I'm still burning.
I do taste the flavor.
Mm-hmm. It has really good flavor. I can taste
that. It does have a good flavor to it. It has some sweetness.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that my tongue's tingling.
Yeah, my lips are tingling right here.
In a way that makes me question certain things later.
Yeah. Pro tip. When we get done,
yeah,
you might want to take an antacid.
Okay.
So your stomach doesn't cramp. Because that is not a pleasant feeling. Especially if you're not used to like really hot stuff like this.
Well, I did have a piece of toast about a half hour before this, so I'm not going in with an empty stomach.
I had some of those not fried green beans, but the green beans with the coating or whatever. Tempura green beans or whatever. Are you still burning?
I'm drinking ranch dressing right now.
Is that healthy?
I don't even know. Actually, it helps. It does. My lips are still tingling though.
Yes, my lips are tingling. There's some heat on the back of my tongue, but it's fire. The first taste is fire, everybody. It's very hot. But it's and it comes back to you and it lingers for a while, but it's very, very tasty, very tasty. So chilies, soup, pizza. It would probably be really good on eggs, omelets, stuff like that. Anything with cheese on it, I'm thinking, would probably be really good. So, okay. So while you're uncomfortable and sniffling, let's talk about your new book.
Okay.
Okay. What's the name of it?
I painted my lips with ranch dressing at one point. I had to lick that off. I've never done that before. So my book, focusing on my new release is called Leveled. It came out on Tuesday. So it's still under a week old. It's my third published book baby.
I see you got a few reviews on it already.
Yeah, I was really excited. My advanced copy readers got it probably about a week before it came out. So some of those reviews are from my ARCs, but actually some of them are just from other people who are, I guess, who are just fans of my work, which is
Don't
really
you love
exciting.
ARC? I love ARC people. You know, and I love that I don't have to deal with it anymore. I had when I was with Ilva. Now Ilva had their own. Well, after they got their own like set of ARC readers, and everything, I really didn't have to do it anymore. But I used to have my own, create my own list.
Yeah.
And distribute, so I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. That's kind of that's kind of a pain, so, but that's why I'm so with, now I understand independent, people publishing independently, and doing all their stuff. I don't like doing any of that. So I like going with a publisher that takes care of everything.
See, I helped in that there were some readers from Dreams who seemed to really like my work and said, like, let me know when you have another one. So I did. I kept a list and said, hey, I have this. Are you interested? And they kind of snapped it up.
Do you have a certain number of readers, or like, do you not go over a certain number just to play it safe? Or
I tried just to do 10.
Yeah, I think the highest I've done is 15.
Easy number.
Yeah, the highest I've done is 15. And speaking of people who like your writing, how would you categorize your writing style?
My writing, I write very, well, I started as a technical writer, and I still do a lot of technical science writing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a science teacher for,
okay.
Well, depending on how you look at it, for almost 15 years.
Okay, okay.
And now I'm a scientist.
Oh.
But I don't work in a lab. I work in grants management.
Oh, okay.
So I do
boring, boring stuff. Yeah.
Well, I have my weekends. I don't have to go feed my cells. I don't have to, stop everything I'm doing, run home to the lab, check, results from a machine, stuff like that. So, it's less sexy work, but it's easier to be a creative writer in that. But I digress. So I was saying, my style as a creative writer actually kind of stems a lot from my technical writing and my whole process, in that I start with an outline.
Really?
Oh yeah, my outlines for my novels are like 50 pages long.
Oh my God, you don't feel like you've already written a novel by the time you get finished with the outline?
Well, I do, but I find that once I don't write the outline and I don't think linearly. I'll have an idea for a scene, or I'll have the conclusion, but I won't know how to like tie things together. So I can jump around in an outline, and then just kind of slowly it becomes more cohesive.
Oh, okay.
So by the time I write the novel, I'm just writing, and it does get to, I think when I hand it off to my editor, it is very technical, and I do have to, add in the little more, panache and little nuances, make it a little more flowery. But I think that helps the detail and, eliminate some plot holes, because I've thought everything out already.
Okay.
So I think that explains some of my style.
Kudos to you. I tried, when I first started writing, I tried the outline thing. It made me feel like I was writing a book before writing a book. And I couldn't. So, and I still can't now. I'm kind of a fly by the seat of your pants type of writer.
You're a pantser?
Yeah, I'm very much so. And
I'm a pantser.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
But and I don't, to be honest, I don't know how I'm able to keep up with everything, but somehow I do. I don't know how that I'm able to do that.
See, then
that's kind of, I mean, as you go through 80,000 to 100,000 words, and somehow you're able to keep up with all these threads, about what's going on. I don't know how I'm able to do it, but like, I usually don't do notes. I do a few chapter notes, like the last third of the book, because that's usually when I get writer's block.
Oh, okay.
So I have to, doing the notes kind of helps me kind of feel everything out, when I'm able to start writing again. So yeah, but I cannot, oh my God. And bless all you writers out there who are able to outline and love that whole process and everything. And
I'll say, I'll take it up a notch, because just like, get ready for this. Just like my science writing, well, Leveled is pretty strictly rom-com. While the antagonist is a scientist, there's not really any big science in it. Dreams is very heavily, it's medical romance. That's kind of the category it's in.
Okay.
And then its sequel and the last in the trilogy, it's turned into a trilogy, all kind of have a science medical theme to it. Within my outline, like, I love thinking in the kind of in the realm of the X-Files. I love the X-Files.
Oh, me too.
You know, kind of what is like fringe science? What is the science that's out there?
Did you like Fringe?
I did like Fringe, not as much as the X-Files though. I kept comparing it. Comparing it. Yeah.
No, it's two different entities.
Maybe I didn't get far enough. I only watched the first season of it.
Oh my God. Are you kidding? How can you call yourself a nerd if you haven't watched all 5 seasons of Fringe?
Because I watched all 9 seasons of the X-Files and all 7 seasons.
Okay, but the X-Files got bad. I mean, they were the last couple of years, it was what the fuck is going on here? Yeah, and then the new season they just put up, last year, the year before?
Don't get me started. I don't even count it. It's like the very last Indiana Jones, like Crystal Skull. I just pretend it's not a thing. It's a bastardization.
It was horrible, and I was just like, why are they doing this? And what? It made no sense. None whatsoever.
No, it was
Anyway, we digress.
Yeah, we digress.
Yes.
My whole point was with that, finding the fringe science, is that I'll go on Google Scholar. Now that I don't work for a college anymore, I'm not in grad school anymore. It's kind of tough finding like scholarly articles to back up my like kind of whimsical ideas, but you can still find a lot on Google Scholar. So I'll find those articles and then I link them I make hyperlinks within my outlines.
Really? Oh my God.
And it's to the point now where Miracles, my dream sequel, I actually have a reference page.
Oh my God. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just,
that is interesting.
I think,
and it's a very organized scientist thing to do.
Yeah, which is how, getting back to my book Leveled, the antagonist is that part of my personality definitely came out, because the reason it's called Leveled, aside from Perse, the protagonist, having, wanting to find balance in her life and struggling with anxiety, is about this relationship system that she enters because Steph, the woman who's interested in her, has basically created this system of a series of levels. And that is how she intends to go through her relationship. Yes.
What's the final level?
Marriage.
So she's trying to find this one woman to go through these levels with.
Yes.
That is interesting. I like that premise. It's kind of, I like that.
I'd like to think that I have some interesting ideas. That's what I offer
very interesting
to the reading community. Something novel.
And that would have to be funny. That would have to be funny.
I had a ball writing it. And I have to say, it was actually the first book I started writing ever. And I never took any creative writing classes, in school. So this was sort of I have this idea for a book, and I'd give it to people who'd give me, feedback, like real constructive criticism. And it just sort of, as they read it, I was writing on my other books. I was writing Beards, I was writing Dreams. And then
you get back to this one.
I finally, it's like,
Do you feel like your writing style has changed since you started that one and then you finished a couple of others? So at this point, after you finished those and got back to this one, how has your style changed?
The outlining has stayed. But after working with professional editors and people who just know a lot more than I do, I'm very mindful to stay away from head hopping.
Yes.
Now, I have to say, like, I love the story of Beards, but Beards has some head hopping in it. And the other main thing is now I can like hear my main editor's voice in my head going, I want to see this. You know, I have a tendency to allude to different situations instead of like just spelling it out. Just like, I want to see this. So, okay.
I can hear show, not tell.
Oh, yeah.
Show, not what's the other one? What was the other one? I have a tendency, there's always one word that I use too much.
Mm-hmm.
And the word varies from book to book. I don't know what the word is for this one, but it's always either an action like whispered or, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
Or smirked, or it's always something that I like, you know, and Jove would be like, you know, go back through and eliminate 75% of these, you know, then you'll be doing okay. So now I'm so mindful that while I'm writing, and if I know I've used a particular word like before, I already have the thesaurus up. So, you know, I'm just like, okay, so I don't want to keep repeating, you know, but like, you know, so I automatically do it now.
Yeah, I now do a, when I'm done, I now do a search find for smiles, laughs. I have very happy characters, and hands.
Hands?
Hands?
They have a lot of hands?
I have so many hands. You'd think there was like some sort of, I was writing like tentacle-based work or something.
Oh my God, that's
all sorts of kind of just, yeah.
Okay, so we have
a lot of hands. And I'm always like, I can eliminate half, you know, and, you know, choose some other actions that
so it's
that will convey the same thing, but are different words or phrases.
Yes, we have to do that. That. Okay, so I'm loving that this is a rom-com. I mean, I think we should have more comedies out there. I mean, I know there's a lot of books out there that have a comedy element in it. You know, that there's some parts will make you laugh out loud, but I like the idea of having just that quote unquote book that every few pages you're like, oh my God, you're just, just like, and I have a feeling that you're probably from your tweets and your Facebook posts and everything, I have a feeling that your sense of humor really shines through in what you write. So I'm kind of curious. I do want to read it. So, it's on my list, but unfortunately, since I'm writing, I don't get to read a lot, so it's on my list.
I understand. So, yeah. I'm there with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I intentionally, that wasn't something where I was like, this is going to be about a romance that has some funny parts. I was like, no, I am writing a rom-com. I'm going to make Perce's sister, Missy, ridiculous. She is going to be a soccer mom who hates soccer. She's going to be foul-mouthed. Everyone else. Oh my God,
I love that. Okay, I love that part. Yeah.
Is going to be an idiot, and she's going to call him on it. That's just,
Okay.
I wanted to have, yeah.
Okay, you really got me going now. So, okay. So, I'm anxious for this reading then. So we can get a taste of the book.
Okay, well, I do have the foundation. I don't have that. The foundation reading.
Which is part of the characters that are a part of the level. Yeah.
So I did have the short story bundle foundation. Consists of 3 stories. The first is called Sisters, which is where I introduce Perse, which is short for Persephone.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. And Missy is short for Artemis. So
I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
I would have never. I'm thinking Melissa. Oh yeah.
What was I gonna say? Oh yes, that was the first story, and then the second story in the bundle is called Mission Marriage, And that's where I introduce Steph and the different friends that she has.
Okay.
At this university I made up called Chesapeake Bay University.
Oh.
Or CBU.
Oh.
Yes. And the third story in the bundle is called The Interview, which is where Perse interviews for a job to be a professor at CBU, where Steph and a bunch of other people are already professors.
Okay. So which story are you going to read from?
I'm going to read from the very beginning of Mission Marriage.
Okay. Go ahead. You have my rapt attention. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, and this is from Foundation. Available on Kindle and Kindle Unlimited. I have to make sure things aren't sliding off my printer. And this is good. The numbing and tingling has gone away now.
No stomach pains?
No.
Okay, so you're good. No. Okay. They may hit you later. I'm having a little tingling going on there. So we'll see.
It could just be your excitement for this.
It could be. Go ahead. Let's get started. I'm anxious.
Okay. All right. Mission Marriage. Tamara subtly sifted. Rewind.
See, I told you. It's okay. Go ahead.
All right.
It's okay.
Tamara subtly shifted her gaze to the clock. She didn't mind that her department head had stopped in her office to share his thoughts about professor candidates, but she had an appointment she was already 5 minutes late for. Christopher, she said patiently, I love it when we have these brainstorming sessions, but I have somewhere to be. Yes, you bloody well do, shouted Tamara's Scottish colleague from down the hall. Christopher backed his imposing frame out of her office. Just get in here, Jillian. Tamara and I are having a discussion. After a few moments, Jillian popped her red head and sturdy frame into the doorway. Now it's a party, Tamara said dryly. Very funny. Where do you two need to be? We have to catch Steph before she starts her lab. If we leave now and don't get bombarded with students stopping us along the way, we'll have just enough time. Can't you just call Steph if you have to talk? He asked. She's dodging us, Tamara said and stood from behind her cluttered desk. Last night she texted both of us to say she's not going on the cruise. Christopher's jaw dropped. But the three of you have done that for your spring break every year since Jillian came on board. His shocked face softened. She's still having a rough time? Yeah, Jillian said. She doesn't talk much about it. She just wants to work. Well, that doesn't sound too terrible, he said. Tamara sighed. It is if you're one of her grad students. She made one of them cry yesterday. Something about a lit Bunsen burner, long hair, and a disregard for lab safety. She grabbed her coat off the wall hook and took her keys out of her pocket. We can talk about the pool of applicants we should interview in person when I get back. Come on, Jillian. Let's see what we can do. Steph ran a quick hand through her short, dirty blonde hair. Apparently, the inside sidewalk was not immune from the spray of cars going through puddles. Her trench coat was able to block most of it, but her head and Converse sneakers had taken a hit. Once she entered the teaching lab, she took a sharp turn down the first hall. It was a pain that her office was so far away, but at least this way there were no pop-in questions. She entered the lab, and the subtle lines at the crease of her eyes deepened. She scrutinized the lab benches with a careful eye. If one piece of lab equipment was missing, her lead grad student was getting a phone call. However, all the equipment appeared to be in place exactly as she had specified, and that's why Braden was the best. Steph took off her coat, removed her laptop from her attaché, and tucked her things away in the small instructor's closet. While she was near the room switches, she pushed the button on the wall that caused the screen to roll down from the ceiling. She cued her title slide, agar used in bacterial infection diagnosis, and went through her checklist of other lesson essentials. Phone on silent, fresh biohazard trash bags at each station, plenty of black markers for writing on their culture dishes. Satisfied her lab was ready for students, she went to her bag once more and pulled out a protein bar to go outside. There couldn't be any food in the lab. Oh, there she is. Steph's head snapped up from her unwrapped snack and turned to the direction of the familiar accent. What the hell are you two doing? I have lab in 15 minutes, which means you have a solid 10 minutes to talk to us before your class starts trickling in, Tamara said. Steph's shoulders dramatically fell as she audibly sighed. She should have known this would happen after she didn't return their texts. Look, I'm just not feeling the carefree cruise ship vibe. I'd rather stay here and get caught up on my personal research. But Steph, it's not healthy for you to be doing what you're doing, Jillian pleaded. You've been putting in 12-hour days for the past month, and I just know you haven't had food that's not out of a wrapper in just as long. This isn't healthy. Steph cocked her head to the side. Are you seriously advocating a cruise so I can have access to healthy food? Because if that's your pitch, you really have to work on it. You know it's more than that, Tamara said, with her eyes soft. We know you're still grieving, but we are no means suggesting that you should be done. We just think that some time away from work, some warm weather, and yes, maybe a rum-based cocktail with a beautiful lady, not us, Jillian clarified, but we just think it would be good for you. Besides, we're supposed to get a mess of rain next week, and you hate that. Steph took a large bite out of her bar and chewed. She couldn't deny anything they had just said. She had kept busy in the hopes that it would distract her. Despite staying away from caffeine, she battled insomnia for most of the past month. Her diet was terrible. She hadn't had a date in 4 months. And March rain was cold and miserable, especially when it was inside your sneakers. She swallowed the sticky peanut butter colored bolus. If I go, you have to promise me space. Deal, Jillian added with a small clap. I mean it, Steph said with her finger pointed. No signing me up for volleyball or karaoke, and if I want to get food and take it to my room to eat in solitude, you let me. Tamara slowly nodded. We accept your terms and conditions. It was unexpected, but Steph felt better, like something she hadn't even known weighed her down had been lifted. Okay, since that's settled, are we doing the typical carpool to Baltimore? Yep, leaving from our office tomorrow at noon. Steph blew out a quick breath. That meant an evening of buying cruise ship essentials and laundry laid ahead of her. All right, I'll start my packing list during lab. Jillian furrowed her brow. What list? It's the same vacation we've taken for the past 4 years. Tamara placed a hand on Jillian's shoulder and shook her head. Don't criticize the list. Yeah, never criticize the list.
I like all the faces and everything you were doing. It made it more, okay, so I really like, I see what you mean about technical writing. It's very, you could see everything going on the way you described it and stuff.
Oh good.
Yeah, seriously. The show not tell. So I mean,
and that's the interesting thing, and the feedback I received from people, mm-hmm. and I'm so happy. But it's like I don't try it. That it's like the only way I know how to be. You know, it's
you
like
can actually see when you first started reading. It was like I could almost see them going into the room and all these like things happening. It's just the words, your word choice. And just it was very good descriptions. So,
thank you.
Yeah, it was good. I like it. And I like the banner and everything right off the front. It kind of made you want to know more about the relationship she had with them. So yeah, definitely very good.
It's tough trying to decide like what to read. Like I pulled something else, which I actually think is funnier, but there's 5 characters.
So yeah.
And that's a lot of different like action within like the 5-10 minute reading. I don't know.
Makes it too cluttered.
Yeah.
The last reading I did, I tried to, who was I reading from? I was reading from Big Girl Pill, I think. And I tried to pick out a funny part, and it was like a funny part, but it was on a tail end of a sexy part. So I was like, whew. So I just kind of glossed over it, and kind of skipped over it because I was like, I don't want to read that out loud. I'm like, no, I don't know these people.
I couldn't even imagine trying, like, even when I don't write a lot of sex scenes. Like, usually my books are averaging like 2.
That's
two
average,
two sex scenes in a book, I feel it's good. But even as I write them, I'm like, giggle, like, I'm not a mature woman. Like, I'll be 40 in a couple weeks, and I'm just like, I should not be giggling.
Ass.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Not to get off, any sort of questions or other feedback you might have, but it's like, there's certain like words that I just don't find sexy. Like, I don't find the word butt sexy.
There's just no way you can use it. There's no way. And not sound like a 10-year-old boy.
Right.
Or she grabbed her butt. I mean, there's no way you can say it.
No.
Let's be grown up and call it an ass. I mean, call it what it is.
It'd be funny to write a sex scene with the vocabulary of, she had pert boobies. Like,
boobies. What Bob? Okay, this is what we're getting way off topic, but anyway.
Sorry.
That's what these things are. So, what bothers me is too many technical terms, where you'll see vagina, you'll see labia, you'll see mons, and I'm just like, no, that's not sexy either. Now it depends. Vagina is the sexy word, I think. You can, but if you use it all together with those two, it becomes more of a like a health class lesson.
Right. It's too clinical.
And I'm just like, oh no, it takes you right out of it. I don't like reading that. I mean, so it's like, you'll like, ooh, this is interesting, and then you just go like, oh, what? No.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Yeah. I don't like it.
Yeah, it was no, I agree with you. But it's tough then trying to find, again, the words that describe it without using the same words.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes. I think writing Lesfic, any kind of, it's difficult. Sometimes it takes me days to write a sex scene.
Yeah, no, when it's very methodical, like, and it's funny, like, it's a choreography. It's
yes.
Like, well, whose pants are they?
Yes.
You can't have the underwear. How can the underwear come off? The pants are still on.
Thank you. And in between all that, you have to put enough descriptors, enough showing where it makes it more visceral. So it's a complex, and it takes me, and kudos to those writers that can just breeze through them and like, okay, I can't do it.
I can't do it. Now I cheat. Like, I always make sure that my characters have different. They're very different physical types. Heights are different. Skin tone, color's different. Shape is different. That way I can at least kind of pull from that sometimes, so I know who is who, and the character, the reader will know who is who. But and you have similar parts.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, it's always interesting. I mean, I just finished another sex scene in the book I'm working on. So, and it was very abbreviated. It was intense, but abbreviated. And it still took me at least a day to get it done, because you want those words to be, to promote that kind of reaction that you're looking for, so it can be kind of difficult. It really can. So, yeah. But I like your style. I like the way you write. it's not simplistic. It's simple enough, but it's not overly simple to where, you're like, okay, we can all read, but I like it. It's clean, I guess you could say. It's not it's not muddled. It's not overly flowery. I don't like that. So I like it.
That's the thing. Yeah, I do. And that's where I think my whole science, technical writing comes in.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
I love to, I want to tell a very original story. And I don't necessarily think, and I know some, readers prefer like the flowery and.
They do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Describing 17 shades of green in the forest and stuff like that. And they need that. Yeah. But for me, it's so much more about, who the characters are.
Yes, the characters.
What the plot is, and just enough so I can create the image in the reader's mind, and then.
So would you say your work is more character driven than anything?
Very.
Okay.
Very.
That's a good thing, I think.
My only that comes from my personal preference with reading, because if I don't like the characters, I don't care what happens.
I agree totally. Yeah.
And I think that if an interesting plot should shape a character, like in real life. So I guess I am, also, even though I write some sci-fi fantasy, my reactions to how people interact are very grounded in realism. If you experience an interesting event, it should change you in some way. It should shape you.
I agree. Totally.
And I want my characters to have the same experience.
Okay, very good, excellent. Okay, I'm very much looking forward to reading this book. I like to laugh. Yeah, and I love to make. I like the way you write too. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. Everybody, y'all need to go buy this book. Seriously, it just came out. I'm gonna have the link to Amazon and to is it available on your publisher's website too?
Should be, and it's on, and there's links on my website also.
Okay, so I'll have all that up once I put everything together.
Right.
But so not even next week, I'm actually gonna I'm eking in another author tomorrow.
Busy.
I know. Lynn Lawler is actually gonna be my guest tomorrow, and she's gonna do a wussy version of a torchbearer sauce. I'm gonna do this one, which is The Rapture.
Oh, now I can see it.
Deadly. It is reapers, scorpions, and can't read it there. Yeah, reapers and ghost peppers too. Oh my!
God, get vats of ranch dressing for that.
I know, right? So this should be interesting. So I'm going to try this one tomorrow. And she's going to try, it's a torchbearer sauce, but it's a much milder version. And I think it only has herbs in it. And I think it may be more fruity. I don't know. She'll let you know. I imagine.
I expect a detailed critique.
Yes. And then after that, next Sunday, I have McGee Matthews, who is actually, she has a chef friend who makes his own hot sauce. So, and she's mailing me some so we can both taste it together.
That is very exciting.
So yeah, she was like, it's not big heat, but she said it's very tasty. I said, oh yes, I'm very much looking forward to that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
McGee was one of my readers.
Oh really?
Level.
Oh
yeah.
Okay. I was wondering when you were like, ooh. I was like, okay. Yeah.
I get, it's like, well, I'm a very excitable person.
No.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I know that person. I get real excited.
Oh, okay.
If my wife was beside me, she'd be like,
it's okay. My wife would be kind of just looking at me like,
you're losing your
what are you getting so excited for? No, she'll say something like, are you talking about real people? Like, no, honey, we're talking about characters. And then she would roll her eyes.
And she'll say, like, are you upset? It's like, no, I'm in the space right now. There's a fight. I have to get in the fight.
Like the other night, I was coming from the kitchen. I was coming from the kitchen back into my office, and I was laughing. And she was in the living room, and she was like, "What are you laughing at?" I said, "Oh, a joke my character's gonna tell." And she's just like, "Oh God."
We understand each.
Yes, yes. And I was just like, you just don't understand. They're always in my head. They're always talking, which is a good thing, actually. So
yeah, and that's for me why Dreams is taken off into this expanded universe. You know, these characters, I'm just like, they have more to do and say.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's the way. And I mean, before I started writing this book that I'm working on, I had a whole nother book in mind. A whole nother book in mind. Yeah, it had nothing to do with characters from Big Girl Pill whatsoever. It was a completely different book. And I was like, oh, if I'm going to do a book about Rachel, I'll do it later on. And then as I started the other book, the characters that, you know, I had in mind wouldn't leave me alone. And I kept thinking like, ooh, it would be good if I did this. And so it just kind of started taking over. And I ended up abandoning that work and starting on the big, you know, the follow-up to Big Girl Pill. And I was just like, oh my God. So I don't know if I'm going to get back to the other book or not. I mean, you know, they're pretty silent right now. So I don't know if anything's going to happen with it.
Oh, just keep it. You never know.
Yeah, I still got, like, I did little character sketches and, you know, and all that stuff. So I still have
Do you draw out your,
no, I mean written character sketches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. So I still have those. So, but yeah, so yeah, we're not crazy. We're not crazy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Somebody who understands. Yes.
Just two ladies who like to write about the fake people in their head having some hot stuff.
Exactly. Thank you. We have a lot of fake people running around in our heads. Thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Getting into so many hijinks adventures.
Yes, very much so.
We're mischievous.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Serena, for joining us again.
Thank you for having
me. It was fun. I'm glad I got to get you to do a sauce this time. And
absolutely.
Let's see, you drink your milk, you had your water, your ranch dressing's gone too. So
I didn't. I also brought emergency crackers.
Oh my God!
I didn't.
Crackers are supposed to make things hotter, though, aren't they?
Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Well, like like here in Louisiana, when we eat crawfish, you know, a lot of people from Louisiana, they do it with crackers because crackers make the heat, like the spiciness from the crawfish, come out more.
Really?
That's what I've been told.
I wonder if that's why people in Maryland do saltines with their Old Bay crabs, with their crab cakes. I don't know.
My wife does and I'm just like, I don't do that because it's just like, like I just want the crawfish. I don't want the cracker and
right, all that stuff.
Yeah, she sucks the head and all that stuff. So, no, she doesn't suck the head. She'll like do the body or whatever, but I don't think she does the head. I don't remember her doing the head. Anyway, okay.
I'm actually just happy that I did follow along with that, because if I didn't, that could have been a whole different conversation.
I know, right?
My wife sucks the head.
No comment, everybody. No comment. Okay. All right. I'll see everybody tomorrow with Lynn Lawler, and then I'll see you guys on Sunday as well with McGee Matthews. Say bye, Serena.
Bye-bye.
Okay,
Levels is available wherever books are sold.
Hilarious.